And so I continue to explore the world of Masterpiece and Masterpiece-inspired Transformers. This time I'm going to be taking a look at the KO oversized Wei Jiang Commander M01, which is inspired by the movieverse Evasion mode Optimus Prime Voyager figure. There are certainly some differences and some changes, but it is heavily inspired by that. And I guess since we're in the movieverse era right now again, it's kind of appropriate that I look at this. Now what I find interesting is a couple of things on the box, but I'll get to that, and I'll get to all the accessories, and I'll get to the figure itself. I'll get to everything. Just be patient, and we'll cover it all in the latest GotBot True review. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. I'm just a nerd with a camera, folks. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, check out Machinery of Man and the Everything Factor. Have a look at Universal Collision, my stop motion series. All of season 1 is now up. And I'm working on season 2. And check me out everywhere, and we're gonna jump right into this. I am not a Masterpiece collector, but thanks to a friend of the channel, Jeff, who has given me a few key pieces to look at, I managed to have the opportunity to bring this guy to all of you. This is very impressive, but I just want to point a couple things out on the box. The art is beautiful. Of course, he's called Commander, and we got just some stuff over on this side that I can't read. Over here you see him with his battle blades, and he does come with them. You'll notice he's holding them in his hand. I wonder how they're connected. They are handheld. On the back, of course, we have both a shot in robot and in vehicle mode, and you see he's holding an axe and a shield there. He does come with that. Here's all of the things that he comes with up here. I'll show them off in just a little bit. I love the way that his blaster goes together and comes apart and where it stores. He has a couple of alternate faces and all of that good stuff. Now, keep in mind, and this is how I'm going to score this guy. You would think that this is a, expensive high-end collectible, and sure enough, it definitely is. But on the bottom, where there's a bunch of stuff that, again, I can't really read, I do see a little symbol here with like a Ghostbuster cross through it. And it says that this is not suitable for children under 6 because of small parts. Here's what I want you to consider as we go through here. Do you think a 6-year-old can handle this guy? That's my question to you. Keep that in mind as we go, because I don't know about the 6-year-olds where you live and what kind of super geniuses they are, but I would not give this guy to a 6-year-old. Alright, so we're going to take that out of it, and we need to have a discussion about all of the things that come with this guy. First and foremost is this axe. It is gorgeous, impressive, translucent plastic for the Energon blade. It has hieroglyphics, it looks like, on it. I guess it's supposed to be Cybertronian or whatever planet they're saying these guys are from. But it's a really impressive battle axe. I absolutely love the sculpting on it. Then we have his battle blades ×2. I will take one out of it and we can just focus on this one. Again, that same beautiful orange translucent plastic, amazing detail. This here is the handle that goes held in his hand for him to wield these. It is gorgeous though. It is absolutely stellar. So taking that out of it, and bringing in the next, which is actually, these are actually fuel tanks. That is a fuel tank. It would go pegged on the side, but it has another purpose. There's two of these, and you'll notice that we have this curved ridge. See if I can... We have a curved ridge up there. And if we look at the other one, you'll see there's a raised ridge right there. These two will go together. Now, what you're supposed to do is flip down that little piece and is it turn? Yeah. Rotate that section there. And it opens up all of the detailing, I guess, inside of this. And on the other one, you are supposed to, if I can do this now, you are supposed to if it will focus, you are supposed to open this out and turn this around. And then you put both of these together and there is his blaster. I think that is genius. Yeah, so this is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. I love how it mimics his triple-barreled shotgun styled blaster, and I think it worked out really well. He also comes with this rather beautiful shield. I love the detailing on it. It matches the axe and the blades very nice. It has a handle on the back that comes out that will go into his hand. That's how he will hold it. Probably see it right there. Big fan of that. He also came with this, I guess, old-timey product sheet. I dig it. I do. I understand the, we'll say, the logic behind it, and other offerings from them. And of course, it comes with the instruction manual, which is, it's nice. It has great pictures and whatnot to help you out, but it's still challenging, we'll say. Now, let's bring in our main event. Here he is. This is Commander, also known as, you know, movie-verse Optimus Prime, based on the Age of Extinction mold. I'm really impressed with him. He looks glorious. So we're going to measure him, and I'm sorry for my moving around there. We're going to measure him as we always do. Paint apps, posability, playability, and of course his transformation, just to give a comparison here, because this guy is pretty enormous. Let's see. Here he is with the Masterpiece Seeker mold. This is Acid Storm, who I looked at quite recently because I'd never looked at the Seeker mold on the channel before. Here is Masterpiece Bumblebee, so you can see how much bigger he is than B. I looked at B in episode 273. Here he is with the leader class. This is Quick Switch from the Chaos on Velocitron set. And I looked at Quick Switch in episode, well, all of the Chaos on Velocitron set in episode 275. And I guess it's only fitting that we, well, actually before that, here he is with MPP-10, who I haven't looked at yet, but gonna. MPP-10 a little bit bigger. And because it only seems fitting, this is my custom version of the original Age of Extinction Evasion Mode Optimus Prime mold, and I looked at him in full in, I think it was episode 64, and an update with his custom faceplate in episode 72, I do believe. And this is the Kubian Bao Nemesis Prime version. I looked at him in full in episode, I think 255 if I'm not mistaken. A lot of die-cast on this guy. So that's a whole bunch of comparisons there. He's big. He really is. Now, in terms of paint apps, 10. The detailing on the legs and the arms and the hinges and whatnot in here is absolutely glorious. The detailing on his feet, the sheen on the paint. Now the red and this red don't quite match. The plastic red and the red on the die-cast parts are slightly different, but it all comes together so cohesively and beautiful. In terms of die-cast parts, the guy is pretty heavy. He has rubber tires. I'm just trying to figure out really quickly now where the die-cast is on him. I know it's on these chest panels, and the whole side here, the whole side of the truck that flips up, it is on that as well. So the guy is covered with it. These little pieces up here, they're also die-cast. There's a lot of places on him that are metallic, and that gives him his robust weight, and that's the only way I can really explain him, is to say he's very robust. He feels very solid. Even the plastic is a good, solid feeling plastic. I like the guy. I love the look. So 10, good start. Good start, because you know by now that Masterpiece isn't really my thing, which means I expect it to be 10s. He's starting off really, really well. Articulation. Well, the head is on that same sort of hinge. It can go left and right and back and look down. The arms, you know, they can go right around. Nice ratchet out. You know, that far we'll say. Which I think is effective enough. If you wanted to move that out of the way, maybe, it goes out pretty much straight. Nice deep elbow bend. He still has that kind of janky looking elbow, but that's kind of par for the course for this mold. He does have a bicep swivel. He does have wrist rotation. The thumb moves. The fingers are able to move, and there's a hinge in at the knuckles and then halfway up the fingers, we'll say. And they're all pinned. So it's one piece for his fingers. The kneecap thingies do move. I think they might even be, maybe they're plastic. The legs, you know, they go out about that far, basically. Not perfect, but passable. Leg all the way forward and all the way back on a beautiful ratchet. Thigh swivel, great thigh swivel actually. You hear the ratcheted knees, and they're beautiful. They're not too, they're not too heavy, but they're heavy enough. We have an ankle rocker. We have a toe swivel, which is different, but hey, I'm cool with it. And we have a waist. Honestly, articulation is a 10 as well. The guy can do it all. And this is what I sort of expect the Masterpiece to be so far. We still have to do that transformation, and it's a challenging transformation. There's no doubt about it. I'm not going to pretend that it's not. Does that mean it's bad? Not really. Actually, it sort of refines some things from the Evasion mold. Anyway, if you're familiar with that, you will be familiar with this, but there are certain changes. Let's try and make this as easy as we can. So we turn the toes around first. Oh, actually, before I do this, I guess though I pointed out his accessories, I didn't really show any of them. This one here can go, if I can get it in, which I should be able to get it in. And here he is with his shield and his axe. He holds both quite well. Little difficult to put it in on camera, so that's why I did it off screen. So, taking that out and taking this out, you just open up the hand and get it out. Next we have his battle blades. They just go, again, in his hand, and they fit into a little slot. If I can get them in the slot, it's a bit difficult. There. So, I mean, he just holds it. Although the way the back of his hand is, it looks like it's protruding from his hand. But he does just hold it. And if I can get it out, that'll be another wonderful thing. And, of course, he is able to hold his blaster. And he can do this in either hand. I've done it in both. I'm obviously not showing it in both here, but I have done it in both. He can hold his blaster like that. So I think that's pretty fantastic. Big fan. And it looks good. It can also be stored on him. You can take this out of his hand, and if you come to the back and you take apart the two pieces of his blaster and turn them into the, let's say turn them into the gas tank things, you'll notice that there's a little post still sticking off. That little post has a rounded end that can fit into that hole right there, and a rounded end that can fit into, where's the hole over here? That hole right there. So he can actually carry the halves of his blaster on his back without you really noticing it. It just looks like truck pieces. I think that's really cool. Absolutely love it. It'd be nice if the other accessories could store nicely, but sometimes we gotta take what we get when we get it. Okay, the transformation. Finally. We're going to begin by turning his toe around and turning his toe around. This is an additional feature that's not on the original use of the mold. Next, you want to bend the leg in and bring the foot up. And you're going to bring the whole thing up around in this fashion. So we bend the leg in, we begin to bring the foot back, and we keep bending the leg so that it comes up in that fashion. Now, this is where things begin to get a little bit different for this guy than the Evasion mode Optimus. Next, you pick up this blue piece from over the tire, and it comes up and it will peg in. You heard it click there. Comes up and it will peg in. On the regular use of the mold, these tires are just left down here behind this rim, basically. Actually, the rim isn't exactly even like that. Here, you untab it from this hole in the leg and you swing it down. And you tab it back in on the bottom. Over here, you unpeg it from the leg, swing it down, and peg it in. Fantastic. Now you can peg the two legs, the two halves of the legs together. Or, well, the two legs together so that we get the rear of the truck. These peg together, oh, that's not quite straight. These peg together quite tight, I'll say that. quite tight. And we set them up. And this is what we have so far. Half of a truck, I guess you could say. I'm going to adjust the camera so that we can get a bit of a better look as we do the rest here. Hopefully. Okay, so now let's try and continue here if we can. Where do we begin with this guy? Because there's a lot here. Okay, well, we can close up his fist, and his thumb can go, actually, open up his fist. Put his thumb across like the palm of his hand and close up his fist. So I'll try and show that a bit better over here. You take the thumb, and if it's not done already, you put it across the hand like I have done here. Right? Thumb would be out like this. You put it across the hand. And then you close up the fist. So far, so good. We want to try our best to set ourselves up for success here. Oh, I guess I'll show this now. You can open up his chest, and I will have to back this up because I do need to try and show this. And you can, though it's not the easiest thing to do, flip down that, and there is a molded in matrix in the middle of his chest. So he does carry the matrix of leadership. You can't take it out, it's molded in, but it is there. Anyway, closing that back up. Next you can open that piece out. Then, as where you can basically just kind of flip this shoulder piece back on the Evasion mode Optimus, here you have to take a little more care and finesse with it. You need to push the plastic down to unhinge it, and push the plastic down a little bit to unhinge it. And now the shoulder pieces are free flowing. If we come back over here to the rear section, we can begin to lift this out, but we need to fold these little pieces in. And fold. And you need to really try and fold these. I didn't do it correctly. They come down and underneath. Out of the way. And then we can bring that whole piece back and down. Take these smokestacks and flip them up to give you that front grille, just like you do with the Evasion mode Optimus. You can also flip out that piece and that piece. This is when things now with this guy will start to get tricky, as they do with the Evasion mode Optimus, because we need to do that flip around. And that flip around is, naturally as you would expect, quite challenging to accomplish. Especially since you have an extra piece here. So this extra piece and the chest pieces are a little bit of a pain to deal with, but what they did with the hands actually makes it a little bit easier to deal with. So we're going to come here and we're going to open this panel out so that it's flat. And we're going to come over here and we're going to open this panel out so that it's flat. These panels will make the back of the truck look like a truck. So they're nice pieces to have, but we need to sort of get them out of the way. We're going to finagle with them a little bit as we go here. I can almost guarantee you we're going to finagle with them a little bit as we go here to get them to fit correctly. Now, the instructions suggest that you actually fold down the legs a little bit. And I'll back this up. So, fold down the legs a little bit because apparently it's supposed to make doing this flip easier. I don't know if it does, but that's the claim. I don't know if anything's going to make doing this flip easy. And of course, just like with the Evasion mode Optimus, we try and get that piece down out of the way. And maybe that's why it's supposed to be easier, because it allows you to take this whole section down a little further. And we bring it in. And we begin, hopefully, to bring it up and around. And it doesn't quite want to do it there with me. Hold on. I want to make sure that I'm doing this correctly. Okay, and here we are. We have this piece up. We have this back here on the back. It does flip around. And then we can begin to bend this arm section back, just like we do with Evasion mode Optimus. The hand, now we'll have the fingers go straight out, and it bends back so that now the palm of the hand is facing out toward the back of the vehicle. And we should be able, if we're lucky, because again the tolerances here are iffy, we should be able to bend this whole piece down. And there we go. That whole piece is now bent down. Once you do that, you need to do the same thing on the other side, which again is challenging, to say the least. Okay, so now we got these two pieces in, and we have the head coming down. So the head goes in just like it did before, down in the center, and we leave this out for now because we know we've got to put this up, which I guess we can go ahead and do now. You bring this in, and same thing, you have a tab here and here, here and here, and it goes in to the die cast, so you don't have a whole lot of leeway to get it in there, to be honest with you. I got this one in, and I'm going to get this one in, and now I got to clean up the bottom there. And you can see that I now have everything tabbed in the front there, and this piece can come down and go in no problem. But we're still not finished. We have little flaps here that can come out, and we still have the back all open and these other pieces. Well, because we have those hands in the back now with the palms facing down, we can close this section all the way in and this section all the way in nice and flush. We can bring that piece down and we can bring that piece down. And they tab in, again, nice and flush. And now we can bring these up over. When we bring these up over, there's a little hole right at the very edge that goes on over here, and another little hole that goes on over this other little start. Like that. That one's on over. Extend the smokestacks. We open out the side mirrors if that wasn't always done, and just make sure I have all of this flat and good, and boom. There you go. Optimus in his vehicle mode, and it looks fantastic. I love the color on the side. I love the way that the feet fold up in around here. He rolls like an absolute champion. It's great. It is absolutely great. We have kind of clear translucent plastic on the front. I really don't know if they could have done a better job. The transformation is the transformation. It is probably an 8, but that being said, They made certain changes to it, like with the hands, that make it exponentially easier, enough that I'm actually going to up the transformation here. Say it's a 10. This guy is a 10. This guy is a masterpiece. It's what I expect a masterpiece to be. Here he is with the original. Obviously you can see a rather sizable difference between the two. But wow, what a rendition. Oh, by the way, and I didn't have this done, I guess technically this would be the last part. His blaster, using those ports on the legs, you can put, why is that not going in there? One in there, and you put the other one over on that side, and now he also has the fuel tanks on him. It is absolutely glorious, and I love the way that this turned out. That being said, I'm partial to the Evasion mode Optimus mold anyway. And for one final comparison here, here he is with the MPP-10. You can see what this was going for. Oh, these out on the sides. You can see what this was going for. You can see the inspiration. And you can see why a lot of people have really taken to the Evasion mode Optimus mold. This actually, I think, has more detail than this, even though this looks absolutely iconic. That being said, interestingly, taking this guy out here, if we line them up really nose to nose, the MPP-10 is a little bit longer. I don't know if it really makes a difference, because even in robot mode this guy's a bit shorter, but he is perfect. 10s across the board. Finally, a masterpiece that is exactly what it claims to be. The only problem is this isn't the masterpiece. This is a, you know, this is something else. But it is masterpiece inspired, and it would go on a masterpiece shelf and fit in just fine and look glorious next to some of your other bots. Anyway, folks, that is it for this guy. Thanks for dropping by and giving me some of your valuable time. You know that I always appreciate it. And yeah, I'm impressed with this guy. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together for another visit right here inside the videos.